Right, hi guys, it's Bob from Greybeard Models. Welcome back to the channel. Good to be here, and many thanks to all my new and old subscribers. We've gained some more subscribers, which is great. Really appreciate you coming on board, and I really appreciate your comments. It's great to keep the community going, and make your views known. So as you would have seen from the title page, we're going to get on with the Thunder LRDG F30 truck. Now, this is quite a new, well, it's a very new kit, but there's some issues. And I thought the best thing to do, first of all, is to have a look at the issues, which is a shame. They're not insurmountable, don't get me wrong, but we'll get over to the bench and I'll explain what the problem is and how you can resolve it. Anyway, let's go. Right, so first things first, as I went through the instructions and sort of ticked off parts as I recognised them and assembled them, because it assembled the engine. I then got through most of the parts here, up to the point of here, and then I got to section 7 in the instructions, and section 7 is this part here. So we're talking about adding what looks like a brake cylinder to the chassis there, and then this is the drive, the gearbox, I suspect, and then there's a drive shaft here. So the problem that I had here was you've got C28 and C29, which is fine, and then B50 and B37. B50 in the parts is that part there, and I'll try and get it up into focus, and it's got two sort of reduced diameter ends to it there, but it hasn't got this section here. Now I had a really close look at this to see if it wasn't short shot, and it doesn't appear to be. It appears that there is a, let me get my pointy stick. Right, so there appears to be a turned down section at this end, like shaft, and a turned down section at that end, which is, or looks like, it's almost square. So, which might account for that. So we've got that part, but we've got this part. Now, having looked through the parts, and if I grab my tweezers, oh, sorry about that. So I've got this part here, which is C28, and I've got this part which isn't C28. However, it does have a turned down section in there which would fit onto that shaft, but that's B37. So we've got that part, that part there, which is ultra tiny. So I'll bring that in there. That's that part there. And we've got that part. We haven't got this part. So to resolve that, I looked at the sprues, and we do have some parts that that might actually fit on the end of the shaft and create that part. So I looked at the C sprue, and it's quite possible that we could use this other part here, which is another C28. But I'm not sure. So that's the first conundrum. So having identified C28 as potentially, because there is a spare one, I think, as potentially the part we can use, the next bit was to go through the instructions and see if C28 appears again anywhere in the instructions. And having gone through all of the instructions, everything here, there is nothing to indicate a C28. So it's really quite interesting. Now there is a similar part called B49, and B49, if I can find it again, is this part there, but that's already accounted for in the instructions. There is another one which is similar, which is B58, and again that's already accounted for in the instructions. So I suspect that the instructions should have read that was the two parts that I said. So yeah, so that's the first thing that's wrong. Right, so carrying on with this, so it's C28. This indicates it goes into that part of the transmission, when in actual fact it doesn't. When I looked at the transmission here, if you put it in there, it's actually, that is the point. Better get that into shot. That's the point where the transmission goes to the front axle. So that's not actually quite accurate. That arrow should go there. So we'll change that, and that goes into that point there. The reason for that is when you've got this together, that part goes down into the engine. It goes drive from the engine to there, or from the motor to there, whichever language you want to use. And to verify that, as we go further through the instructions and look at the picture here on section 12, this is the fitting together of the drive to the front axle, this is already in place. Oh, let's get into shot. That's the drive to the front axle, and that part is already in place. And you'll also notice there is the part there that creates the connection to the transmission, and that part there to the engine. And again, it's there and there in the other drawings. So I think the thing to take from this is check the parts and then go forward to make sure it's in the right place, because clearly they've made a mistake there, which is a shame. Well, onwards and upwards. So next, the instructions here. This is I think the rear axle, numbers C9 and C9, gone to the C sprue and took out C9 and C9. That is correct. However, when you come over here, this part and this part are marked C9, but they don't even look like C9. So I went through the C sprues, and the only thing that is anywhere near that is this part here, which is C25, and there's two of them, and that is those two parts there. So they've got the wrong numbers, and that's a good start to a kit. I think you'd agree. I'd just like to add one more thing. When you're mounting the rear axle, just make sure you get these U-bolts, or the things that suspend the rear axle, get those in the right order, so you get number 46. Number 46 is slightly longer. It takes into account the width of the axle there. But yeah, apart from that, that's where we are. And so I've got the rear axle mounted and all that sort of whatnot, and we'll carry on with the construction in the next video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.